People, the tone, the tone I was coming for with this video with regards to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his comments, oh, the tone was, oh, the blood was boiling. However, I am happy that he has. Before going into that, I must acknowledge that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has put out an apology. Now, take the words of this apology and make it as you will. But he has put out an apology saying he is sorry for his choice of language has offended some people in the UK and Europe and caused concerns. But it is important to raise the issues of control and well-managed migration that supports economic growth. That's an apology to some people in the UK and Europe. This apology changes the whole tone, and I must say, I am not by any chance interested in the politics around this. I talk football. I talk about African internationals playing here in the UK. The only reason I'm talking about it is because those Africans who play in the UK are immigrants, and in the ranks of United, there are only like 30% British. There are only like 30%, less than 30% British players in the ranks of United. The rest, there are 16 countries represented in the squad. When you take out Wales, Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, the language you use negatively impacting those players who are not from those countries, who are employed by a team that he is a co-owner to. I mean, it's wrong in so many ways. But before I flab about, let me for those who do not know what he said, I think it's important that we listen to it. I think it's important that we listen to what he said.
Difficult things with the UK to get it back on track because at the moment I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
Now, I'm not going to go into any of the details, Nigel Farage meeting, police. As I said, I declare I am not interested in the politics. But the language used here, the UK is colonized. The UK is colonized. I would beg for Sir Jim to go and review and revise the definition of the word colonialism. What is colonialism? What does that refer to? What was the impact of that in our history as a humanity? And then maybe I'll not go back into that because of course he has apologized. But at the end of the day, we have to deal with these facts. These facts are simple. If you look at these numbers, let me make them wide so everybody can see. That is Manchester United. 16 countries. The English are 33.3%. The European non-UK are 38.9%. There is a further breakdown. So we have sorry, my eyes are horrible and I'm not putting on my glasses. So we have the UK and Ireland right there is Jesus Christ. It's 36.1% of players playing for his team, for Manchester United, are UK citizens. The rest, immigrants. Are they colonizing Manchester United? Anyway, I just needed to bring this up because I am an immigrant. I am here, I pay taxes, I work, I have kids who are integrating into the society, and I am paying my dues as a citizen. But as an immigrant, this kind of language, has repercussions that are endless. Now, I am just saying this from this angle. I am Mbeumo, if I am Mazraoui, if I am Ahmad, reading this from my employer, how does that impact me? How does that make me as an employee, knowing that I am working for someone who has views like this, who is looking at me as a colonialist, a colonial master, without even defining that word? Because the thing about this particular interview was that it is not the facts of the matter, the numbers he used are wrong, the language he uses is wrong, but the implication for an institution like United is just mind blowing. It's just wrong in so many levels. Yeah, there are migration and immigration matters that needs the government to look into, but the phrasing of it, the representation of it, from someone who owns one of the biggest institutions in the world, from a city that is dipped in diversity as Manchester, is absolutely out of this world bonkers. As Afro EPL, we profile our African internationals, and I will be disingenuous not to make comments about something like this that I think directly or indirectly impacts African internationals who play here in the UK, especially those who play within the ranks of Manchester United. Words are heavy. Someone told me once before that we use words and words are spells. That is why the articulation and materialization of the words that we use are called spellings. And for you to use language like this and to use words like this, given, and you know what? Even though you say you're sorry, those words are out there. There are people, there are extreme groups in this country who have taken these words, and are going to build on it. How does that impact the match experience? How does that impact the players? How does that impact the view of Manchester United is another thing that we will need to talk about. But I needed to come here and decry these words. I needed to come here and decry these words with the notion that, of course, yes, he has apologized, because this video was supposed to be something really different. But of course, with his apology, the tone of the video had to change, but I just needed to call that out as Afro EFL. Apologize. The FA will still be investigating if Sir Jim Ratcliffe has brought the English Premier League into disrepute. Now, let me just say this, just for context. Sir Jim Ratcliffe lives in Monaco. He moved to Monaco, I think it's 2020. So he's an immigrant in Monaco. For whatever reason, he decided to leave the UK to move to Monaco. He's an immigrant in Monaco. Make that for what it is. Anyway, that's all I had for you today. Click your like buttons and turn on your notification, because that's the only way you will know when Afro EPL drops a beat. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. À bientôt. Bye.